Testing. Whoa. Good morning. You know, it's Saturday, so it'd be an ice cream Saturday, wouldn't it? Now you're on the spot. How does it feel? They got lights on me and I'm making this bad joke. How do I feel? All right, guys. They made it through the herd. Let's get this started. Everybody, welcome the VAs. I'll get started with Black Griffin. You have to turn on your own mic. Dang it. I can't figure that out. It's a contractual thing. Right. All right. Next up, and I really think this is probably a bad decision on my part, but I'm going to bring Michelle Krieber out next. These two are going to be a little crazy, I think. And you know what? Let's get a round of applause for the blue-haired guy there. That's Bash Script. He's the con chair that made this entire event possible. Just saying.
He's shy.
Just me, 2 other people.
I know, but I'm giving you...
No, 2 other people.
Okay. Next up, let's bring out Andrea Libben. And Kazumi Evans. And last but not least, Monique Krieber. I've given myself a safety barrier here between this and the crazy. Right
Yeah,
here.
you need like a block.
Just that's what this cold water is for.
I'm actually going to get that out of your arm's reach there.
I'm going right quick, so let's just move that over there. Okay, good, yeah.
So how you guys doing? How you guys liking Kansas City so far?
It's very
These guys are all fine with it. They have to be here, but
It's beautiful.
It is.
I love it here. It's just so green and people are friendly and the food is delicious and everything is. Who lives here? You're lucky. Do you love
Yeah.
living here? It's so nice. Thanks for having us.
this is my first time down here, and I don't know about it. Yeah, who isn't from Kansas City? Who came in from out of town?
Wow.
I think some people raised their hands both times.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
I like Sleepy Pony in the
Take that
back.
distance.
Who's more than 2 hours away from Kansas City?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's a lot of...
Woo!
Who here, this is your first time in Kansas City? All right.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa!
Look at that. That's an awesome mask.
I mean, at least for me, and I'm from Minnesota, and when you hear Kansas, you think of just plains and you know,
The Wizard
Dorothy.
of Oz.
Dorothy,
Toto.
tornadoes.
Honestly.
You know, everything's in black and white or sepia tone.
Yep. Yeah.
The 90% of my basis of Kansas is Wizard of Oz, and I'm learning that's not accurate. Somebody's booing Wizard of Oz.
What?
The lion was a hack. Yeah, no, I mean, this area is gorgeous and it's really green, but anyway. Well, okay, so I'm going to ask a general question just for those who, don't know, haven't heard before, and I know it's something a lot of people always want to know, which is how did you get into voice acting and how did you get involved with the show? Because a lot of people don't know this, just in case you hadn't heard. By the way, Gabe is now official show staff. He actually sang in the first episode of season 5, and he's done some other work, which I don't know if he's announced or can announce yet.
The CD.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. There's Daniel did a CD of a bunch of songs from the show, and he did a mashup, and I sang on some of those. I got some solo stuff, and then there's other stuff that is coming up that I can't talk about.
Yeah, so that's how you can tell he actually is show staff, because there's a lot he can't talk about. It's a definition. But anyway, maybe just go down the line. How did you get involved in voice acting, and how did you get involved with My Little Pony?
Yeah, well, I was in Japan and I was watching the show for fun, and I started doing some art and some animation just for fun. And I think Tabitha St. Germain actually saw some of my stuff and started saying that I should be a voice actor, which I'd never. It hadn't even crossed my mind, but she was like, "You should try this out. You should try this out." And then Mike introduced me to the Kriebers because he said that we should collaborate. And we did, and then I came to BronyCon, and we performed together in 2013, and one thing led to another, and now I'm in Vancouver. And yeah, I really don't know how it happened, but it happened. So.
Well, you also did a lot of the animations,
Yeah, Twilight Licious,
and then
all of those things.
yeah, he did that, and then I don't know, there was a great animation you did early on that I remember, and then later on realized it was the same person that had done it. The Pinky in Real Life.
Oh
before
yeah,
your
yeah.
song.
Yeah, she pops out of the.
Where she
screen,
pops
yeah.
out of the screen, and you scream and fall.
Scream and
backwards.
fall, yeah.
I've gotten used to that action now. I think we all have. The
Yes.
screaming and falling.
I'm good at screaming and falling.
So Michelle, how'd you get involved with this?
Well, I think the first thing I did, we were talking about it yesterday, is my dad was working on this project where they had little kids voicing animals, this cute little music movie, and I voiced one of the. I think I was a swan maybe, and I was 4. I was a voiceover thing I did, and. Then after that, I was like, I want to do this more. And so then I think when I was like 6 or 7 or something, I got an agent and I started doing it more professionally. And then, ironically, I got my first voiceover role with my film and TV agent because we didn't find a good voiceover agent. And they were looking all around, and they eventually expanded the project out to agents that weren't even voice acting agents because they couldn't find somebody for the role. And then they found me, and then I was like, I should probably get a voice acting agent now. So I did. And then and I don't know, 2-3 years later, there was an audition for My Little Pony, and then I did it, and then I got it, and now I'm here.
Back when I started, there wasn't even such a thing as a voiceover agent. You just either had an agent or you didn't, and they kind of did everything. So that's kind of a relatively new thing. I also started young, just like Michelle. I started in the film and TV world. I was in a couple movies and TV shows when I was a kid, like The X-Files and Little Women and Andre and those kinds of things. And I started doing radio commercials pretty young. I was the voice of Arby's. If anyone's ever heard of that food restaurant, have you? Anyone? Yeah? Yeah, we didn't have Arby's in Vancouver, but I was the voice of Arby's, and they used to send me all these coupons. I could never, free everything. I could never get it. And then the first series I ever did was called Dino Babies, and I played La Brea. And shortly after that, Madeline was the series I did for quite a long time. And how I got involved with My Little Pony was I had an audition, and I went to it, and you just kind of try out for it, and that's what we do all the time, and got so lucky to get 2 roles on the show. I played Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy, if you didn't know. And what? What? Do you want to hear what they sound like? Okie dokie Loki! Yay.
For me, I guess how I ended up kind of getting to this stage, I used to watch a lot of Disney movies when I was a kid, and I would impersonate the movies all the time, and play make-believe. I have 2 older sisters, so play make-believe with them, boss them around and tell them that they weren't doing Princess Jasmine's voice right. And that kind of progressed. What started off as a hobby kind of progressed into a real love for the art and for acting and singing and dancing. And I did community theater growing up, and then starting in high school I started working professionally and in musical theater, and that's what I really thought was my path, and that's what I thought what I was going to do with my future. And I was actually in a production of Dirty Rotten Scoundrels when I got an audition for My Little Pony. And my agent that represented me at the time asked me, "Oh, are you interested in doing voiceover work for cartoons?" And I thought, "Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay." So I went on a few auditions, and My Little Pony was one of my first few, and that was my first job. And ever since then, my voiceover career has kind of taken an upward turn, which has been great. And now I'm doing that more than theater and film work, which is wonderful. But yeah, again, as Andrea said, I got very, very lucky. But a lot of hard work nonetheless.
For me, in terms of voiceover, I started back in Winnipeg, where I'm from, doing narration and commercials mostly, and then as a voice. But then I also did a lot of jingles as a singer. And when I headed out to Vancouver in the '90s, I sort of carried along that path and worked primarily as a singer. And then I started for character voices. I started practicing when Michelle was little, reading her books with as many different voices and specific voices for each character when we'd come back to that series. In terms of how I got involved with My Little Pony, we knew Daniel from a few shows that he worked on, and when it came time for, I think the first thing I did was, it was at the gala, and he needed a choir to be the choir in At the Gala, and I directed an adult choir, so he brought me and my choir in to do that song, and it was great fun. We did it at Bryan Adams' studio in Vancouver. It's called the Warehouse. And then I think in the next year, I put together a group of 6 session singers, and we did the Flim Flam Brothers song, and Smile song, and the Hearth Carol. So that's my involvement in MLP, besides, of course, being Michelle's mom, and I think we're on our 20th convention now, so we've traveled a lot and had a huge amount of fun traveling and meeting all the great fans out there. So thank you very much for having us.
I was going to say, too, now, I mean, it's almost like a second job, or, well, it is a second job, isn't it, going to the different conventions and interacting with fans that way?
Sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
I guess the question I was going to ask then is, back in 2012, 2011, this was kind of a fresh, sort of a weird fandom that nobody knew about, but now it's a little more entrenched. It's out there. You guys have been to you guys have all been to multiple conventions. How has your reaction to this changed over the past few years?
I'm first. Well, I didn't expect it.
I want my stapler.
Oh, that's right. I remember Office Space. Oh, I saw that so long ago. Okay. I'm tired. So BronyCon was 2013 was my first convention, and my reaction to that was that I did not know how to react. I didn't expect it at all. I didn't expect anybody would even know who I was. I just, I went.
You were in the Navy at the time.
I was, yeah.
And you were stationed in South Asia, so you really didn't have much.
Yes, I didn't have. Well, every once in a while, and this surprised me, a military brony would come to my workspace on base, looking for Black Griffin. And at first, the band members didn't know what the heck they were talking about until I kind of explained a little bit, and then they still didn't know what the heck they were talking about. But yeah, that was my only interaction. A few people that had seen my work online, and it was really cool. I was like, wow, I can't believe they found me.
I should clarify, too, because he won't do it for himself. He actually performed in, the 6th Fleet Band?
7th Fleet.
7th Fleet Plant, yeah.
One right.
Yeah. You leveled up, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but he performed in South Asia for how many years?
3 years touring the Eastern Hemisphere.
Yeah.
And wasn't it like 21 countries?
Yeah, I had to sing in 10 different languages.
Yes. There's lots of great videos on YouTube. You can see him doing this all
Specifically,
I know what I'm doing tonight.
Specifically, Andrea, you need to look up him in the Philippines performing Justin Bieber songs.
No.
Dang
Yes.
To screaming.
Yes.
To screaming fans. It's the greatest thing ever.
No.
And there's
Thanks.
people in the audience with huge signs that say Gabe on them. I'm not kidding.
Yep.
There's great photos. Yeah.
It's really awkward.
Yeah, because some people say, was Black Griffin really in the Navy? Like they're really skeptical. And did he really do these things? It's all online. You can go verify everything.
Not the Navy SEAL stuff. That's
The Navy
all.
SEAL stuff. That's true. That's not. That's a little bit more secretive.
My favorite is the comment you got on the one, I think it was a Bronies React, where you were wearing your uniform and it had your last name on it, Brown, and somebody said, "That's such a fake last name. He's such a poser."
Yeah. It's my real name.
No, it's
Don't wear
not.
it
It's
out.
Griffin.
No, but yeah, my first convention. That's what we were talking about. Before Justin Bieber. Thank you for that, by the way. I'll use the rest of this water on later. Yeah, I was completely in shock, and I'd never. It was awesome, but it was so different from what I'd been experiencing for the past 5 years at that point. And I was just like, but I've become a lot more accustomed to it, and I still love it just as much, but it feels more like home than it did. Yes, I agree. That's my answer.
I don't know. I don't think my opinion of the fandom has really changed. I was never closed-minded about it. I've always been so curious and happy to meet you all and excited to come to conventions. Like, that's never really changed from the first convention I went to, which was, I think, Everfree Northwest, 2000 something, 12.
Mm-hmm.
That was a long time ago, 3 years ago. Wow. And yeah, it was just so mind-blowing and so surprising for all of us. I think one day we were just all in session and someone, I think it was Jason or Jason Thiessen, someone was like, "Hey, have you heard of the term bronies?" And we're like, "No." So we're all going on our phones like, "Oh, okay, that's, yeah, okay." And so we're all like skeptical for like the first couple minutes, and then you look into it more, and then people started writing us letters and stuff, and it was so interesting. Like, wow, these people are really genuinely fond of the show for really good reasons, and it was just fantastic to discover that. Yeah, so that really hasn't changed. I still love coming to conventions and meeting you all and hearing how you got into the show, because that's like so many different stories and reasons why you came to see this show. So yeah. That's my answer.
And for the record, by the way, my podcast we did back then was I think we were the first to interview you.
Yeah.
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 And at the time we were all worried because you were 12 at the time. You just turned 12, I think.
Wow, yeah.
Or no, you had just turned 13.
I think
No,
I was younger
she
than
had
that.
just turned 12, or wait, interview.
It would have been
Or maybe
2011.
just 11.
It would have
No,
been
then she had just turned 11.
Yeah, and
And-
she had just turned no. Anyway, she was young.
She just turned 8.
She was young. No, we're not talking about mental age right now.
I had just turned 8.
I'm kidding. She'll get her revenge on me, don't worry. No, and at the time we were all worried because, we were bronies interviewing a child voice actor, and we thought, she's going to be nervous or she's going to be really quiet. And no, she dominated that interview. She's just like all excited and ready to go. So yeah, that's something I experienced, that you were really curious and outgoing about it, yeah. And now you're very introverted, and we're sad for that.
Yeah, I remember that same moment of being in the studio, and it was Jason who said, "Hey, you guys, online, there's this huge fan base going on." We're like, "Well, what do you mean? Like the 5-year-old girls? Like they're online?"
Well, Michelle was online at the time. No.
Because I had worked on previous generations of My Little Pony, and that's really what we were used to, is that fan base for young girls. And I was a young girl, and I watched My Little Pony, so it was, that's traditionally what it was. So then, and you really don't understand what it means to be a brony until you meet them, right? And everyone, and I'm sure you all deal with this all the time, when you say, "I'm a fan of this show, I'm a brony," and people go, they have a negative reaction. And so I think my views have changed. They changed right away. As soon as you go to a convention and you start interacting with the fans, right away everyone's going, "Wow, this is amazing, this is positive. These people have overcome some pretty incredible obstacles. They're drawing inspiration from the show." It's, I hope you feel that way being here. It's just such a positive, wonderful thing. As soon as you come around to that, it changes everything. And I think I've changed from being like, okay, this is positive, I'm happy to be doing this too, and accepting, and now I really consider myself a defender. You know, if I meet someone, I go, yeah, I'm going to a convention that, you know, they give even just a face or a negative comment, I say, you know what, no. I said, and I'm sorry, but you're maybe judging something based on stereotypes. I said, have you ever met a brony? It's not what you think. It's an amazing, positive thing. So my views have really changed. Now I'm a defender. I'm an advocate. So, yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with everything Andrea and everyone else on the panel has said so far. When I first heard about bronies, I think it was Andrea and Ashley, like we were in a session and they were talking about bronies, and I was like, well, what are bronies? Like, what are you talking about? And my first convention was also Everfree Northwest in 2012, and I was just blown away because I grew up with My Little Pony and I love that show. And I mean, we were just talking about this yesterday. Like, there's no telling when you get on a show, no matter what it is, whether it's My Little Pony or like a Marvel show or anything, you have no idea what the response is going to be from your audience. And I think I can speak for all of us when I say, as voice actors, we're just so pleased and just honored to be on a show that has this worldwide phenomenon of a following. And it's funny, like, to meet fans like at conventions that actually watch your work. Like, you literally forget, or I do, that after you record it and you leave the studio, that, oh, someone actually has watched or listened to a song. Yay! Oh, that's great! Oh. You know, sorry, that's the Welsh side coming out.
Every time you say a line in session, it'd be like, whoa! Sorry. Oh, what a rush.
Yes, we're all a little bit nutters. Sorry. So, but I can honestly say, I've watched a lot of the Brony documentaries, and I find them quite touching, and I'm so pleased to be part of a fandom that does so much good. Because a lot of the bronies, they raise they raise money for charities, and I mean, how can you argue with a fandom that does that? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. And again, just I'm so pleased to be on a show and to be a part of it and to meet all of you.
And in our house, I think just before Jason brought it to the VA's attention in the session, I was doing something online, and I was on YouTube looking for, I forget what I was looking for actually. It was something else that Michelle had done. Oh, because she was the voice of Lucy and Charlie Brown. That was that first thing she was talking about. And I think I was looking for something on that, and then some suggested video came up, and I looked at it, and it was Hush Now, Quiet Now. And I thought, wait, didn't Michelle sing a song called Hush Now, Quiet Now in My Little Pony? I mean, and you have to understand that when they do animation typically in this way, it doesn't come out for a year after, until a year after you've done it, and then it was also coming out in the US before Canada, so we just weren't aware that it was, and often you don't even see it at all. Like, you have trouble tracking down the work that you've done because you don't get a copy of it, and especially if it's not released in your country. So I just came across this, and I remembered the title of the song because I'd helped her learn it, and I played it. And that's Michelle and Andrea, actually. At the introductions, it's Fluttershy singing it, right? And then Michelle takes over as the voice of Sweetie Belle, the singing voice of Sweetie Belle. And I looked at it, and it had 500,000 views, which blew my mind because I couldn't believe it. I had no idea that the song was even out, let alone that anybody was watching it in those kinds of numbers. So then I started reading all the comments, and who are these people? These are not little kids. They were written so well, and I could just tell that they, that the types of comments were not coming from little girls, which is what I thought was.
That was the last time there were well-written YouTube comments.
And so and then we started hearing, like Jason mentioned it, and then there were articles that came out in some major news publications, and so I really felt, as the parent of the youngest actor on the show, I really felt that I needed to do some research. Because I was hearing all these stereotypical negative things, but I couldn't find anything negative myself, and so I really went on an education campaign, and I went into forums and all sorts of places. No, I wanted to know, especially when she started to get invitations to conventions. So the first convention, same as everybody, Everfree Northwest, once we decided to do it, and then a lot of the cast were there, and yes, we never looked back. Once we were there, we went in a little trepidatious, and once we were there and we got a sense of what the fandom was like and meeting people in person, and as Andrea said, mentioned the stories, and it was truly inspiring is really what it was. It was exhausting that first weekend. We had no idea the numbers of people that would turn out, and the numbers of people you'd talk to, and Michelle did a concert. In fact, she released her first CD at that convention, so it was crazy. I don't think we slept all weekend, which I know you guys are all familiar with, but it was truly an inspirational, corner-turning experience, and we've never looked back from there. So that was our background.
Was anybody else here at Everfree Northwest 2012? The Hill.
Hey.
The Hill. That's what it was that exhausted you, is that hill going.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Yep. All right, well, you know what? I want to open this up to Q&A. Drew, are you over there? Yes, Drew is going to be filtering questions. I think I'm going to conscript Tim over there as well, because I see him. Yeah. He's giving me a look. And what I think I'd like to do is, if we could form a line right in the center here, and just single file, put kids and sponsors first, please. And remember, these guys, as much as they may want to, I know he wants to especially, they can't talk about details for episodes or material that has not been released yet. So, just so you know, can't ask questions about season 7.
Most Griffins don't have national secrets.
So, that's true. We'll get this going.
I think you can handle some.
Yeah, kids up front. Yeah. I did. Yeah. Reminder: children, kids may come to the front. Kids first.
Children, come closer.
Come closer. Yeah, like 55.
Did you guys see today's episode yet? No? Okay. Never mind, nothing. Raise your hand if you saw it.
What is today's episode?
Okay. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Okay. Just checking.
That was actually going to be my first question.
There's probably only like 2 episodes where you watch. I always forget. Like apparently I slept.
We can begin, Drew.
I have it with me.
We can begin. Okay. Yeah.
So many. We should try to go. Well, no, we don't. We should. We don't
Hi.
have to be
Oh, I don't think your mic is turned on.
We don't feel obligated to all answer.
Okay.
Is the mic working?
What's your favorite thing
There it is.
about Fluttershy or the characters you play?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
What's your favorite thing about Fluttershy or the characters you play?
My favorite thing about Fluttershy is that she loves animals. The end.
Do you like Fluttershy or Pinkie Pie better?
Woo!
Who's your favorite child?
Who,
There's like a pink faction that rises here, a yellow one over there. Animals flying through the air.
I'm gonna ask the audience who likes Pinkie Pie better. Who likes Fluttershy better?
Oh!
That really should have been.
I know.
That should have been an underwhelming yay. Come on.
Well, Fluttershy was voted fan favorite. But I voted for both of them. They let me vote for both. I like them both. They're both pretty awesome.
How long does it take to voice a show?
That's a great question. You want to answer?
Depending on if we're taping one, usually an episode it takes about 2 hours, from start to finish. But usually, you're taping 2 episodes in a day, so that's about a 4-hour recording period.
Good question.
Yeah.
Very good.
I like your hair. It's very cool.
Very fancy. Everybody in this question line has cool hair.
Yeah, what the heck, guys? Cool.
You're wearing a Star Trek shirt. You're okay with me. Yep. No, Drew already pre-screened those questions.
Let her rip, guys.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, we want to get through everyone's questions.
Yeah.
Let her rip.
Those questions are pre-screened. You are good to go. Hand her the microphone and she may ask. Hi.
Go for it. Ask
Go
the
for it.
question.
Just ask the question.
Ask the
good.
question.
It's all good.
We're good. Thank you.
How does Fluttershy stand living with Discord?
Oh, she's tolerant. Love and tolerance, right? World peace.
World peace. All right.
Yeah, man.
Mike. Sorry.
I will.
Do you have to live in Canada to be a voice actor?
That's the best question I've heard all year. Because you said that.
I said that?
Yes, you did. You said it.
No, you don't have to live in Canada to be a voice actor.
That's so funny.
I think probably.
It really depends on where the show is being made.
Yeah.
My Little Pony, the voice acting is being recorded in Vancouver. There are a couple of people who live in LA on the show, but it really depends on the show. There are a lot of shows that are made in the US that Canadians wouldn't necessarily be eligible to be a part of.
And not just shows, but video games and commercials, and there are different hubs, hotspots for all those places. Like Texas does video games, New York does commercials, that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, I think there's a big community in Houston, I think, or around that area, and then there's also Los Angeles. A lot of voice acting down there.
What was your favorite episode playing as Fluttershy?
I think now it's bats. With Flutter Bats. What's your favorite Fluttershy episode?
I don't know what the name is, but
What happens in it?
the one where Fluttershy goes to this one concert to just try to stand up for herself.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Thanks for your question.
Well, I guess my biggest question is, I'm just recently a Brony, actually. I've only been one for about half a year. This is actually my very first convention. Easy now, I'm worse than Fluttershy, trust me.
Careful, it's addictive.
But, and I would actually got into this by watching some of the YouTube videos and said, hey, the same path, this is actually some pretty good stuff, because I just saw all these awesome comments and everything, and this fan base is just awesome. You guys are just incredible.
this guy's good.
But I guess my big question is, after I became a brony and everything like that, I would play like Call of Duty, stuff like that. Like I've got a Rainbow Dash emblem and everything like that on there. And I'll just hear some of the most negative stuff like, oh God, we got a brony in here. And I'd see every YouTube comment, a video or something like that. It's like, bronies, get out of here, quit ponyfying everything. I mean, there's even an anti-brony brotherhood saying lay down your arms. My question is just like, what is your guys' reaction to anti-bronies and stuff like the anti-brony brotherhood? Like, what do you guys think about people who are just so intolerant about the show?
I
That's
think
all
they've
they've
obviously
got.
never met a brony,
Yeah.
and that's too bad.
Their loss.
Their loss, yeah.
For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction.
Hello.
Hello.
I got this one question that was in my mind for many years now, or a couple months.
Decades.
Technicality, come on.
Okay, here it is.
Couple minutes ago.
What was it like working with Weird Al Yankovic?
It was really cool. We weren't actually in the same room. We were, I know, until later.
When we were
No, he recorded in LA and we recorded in Vancouver, but we could hear each other, and it was amazing. It was so cool. He was super professional, which you may like, not goofy or anything, like really very professional. It was amazing. It was so fun interacting off one another. And then later he invited us to come to his concert, so that's where we did get to meet him and chat with him, and that was really cool. And he's such an amazing performer, so yeah, pretty cool.
Following up on Pinky Pride, I had a question. How many songs did you sing in Pinky Pride, Andrea?
I don't know.
Did you at least sing the Goof Off?
What's that?
Did you at least sing the Goof Off?
Yes.
Okay. Also, I was going to say thank you for coming to the greatest state in this country, but then I realized we were in Kansas, so I can't.
Oh.
So what's the greatest state then? Oh, okay.
That's not how you pronounce Minnesota, sir.
Alaska.
These guys are all like, they're not provinces, you know.
I live in Alaska. That's its own country.
Are pranks sometimes pulled on you and other cast members?
Thanks.
Not in session, no, but I'm very good at pranking.
Maybe at conventions.
Yeah, maybe at conventions. I don't know. Gabe and I are always pranking each other. We're always coming up with these really, really elaborate, like, adventures. It's just, yeah, there's many pranks.
Tabitha, I think a few times in session, like I would be like recording lines or whatever, and she'd be writing things on my script, and like really funny things, or like drawing pictures, and it's always a battle to keep a straight face, or like, you know, keep going as like, you know, she's like continuing drawing things and scribbling things. So, but other than that, no, during session and work hours, we keep it pretty clean. But, you know, off the clock, yeah, we can get pretty goofy for sure.
I like to mess with Ashley because where I stand, I can face her and have my back to the directors, but only face her, and it's fun. That's all I'll say. She messes up her lines because of me.
Hi, this question is kind of just specifically for Kazumi. Just a quick question. How did you feel about getting to do a full-on voice acting gig with Equestria Girls with Rainbow Rocks?
Woo! No, I loved it. It was wonderful. It was a wonderful opportunity. Like, I mean, I've loved singing on the show for years prior to that, but to get a speaking part and to be able to sing and speak for a character, yeah, it's awesome. And Adagio, she's so deliciously evil that yeah, it was definitely a treat and a real change from what I had my previous work on the show.
Hello.
You did a really good job.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
This is why I pay her the big bucks. Huh? She's good.
So I was wondering what your favorite part that you play on
My Little Pony is, and then your favorite thing that you've done outside off the show.
Cool. That's a good
And
question.
preferably in the Brony community. Such as a convention or what was your favorite thing outside,
Okay.
not behind the scenes?
Well, well, I mean, my favorite character is definitely Apple Bloom. 'Cause I know, right? I don't know why. The favorite, my most favorite thing I've done outside of the show, in terms of like a convention or something.
Whether it be a convention or just music you've heard online, just anything
Okay.
has been done within the Brony community.
Right. Okay, well, yeah, I mean, I've definitely enjoyed, I met Black Griffin through the Fandom, and a lot of other Brony musicians and different people that I've collaborated with, so that's been really cool. I always over the years at conventions, people have made me such extravagant things and all these different sculptures and paintings and cardboard things. I'm like, how do you do? I don't get all the talent is coming to me. Why do you do this? Oh my God, my brain is going poof. So yeah, that's definitely, I don't know, just everything in general. The Brony community is just the coolest thing ever. So yeah.
Anyone else?
Mine's for Kazumi and Michelle. Kazumi, have you seen Children of the Night?
Yes, I have.
What did you think of that? And would you like to do something similar to that?
I thought it was beautiful.
What is it?
We weren't in it.
Oh, okay.
This is like last year when
apologize.
somebody came up to the voice actor panel in Minneapolis and asked what it was like to voice for Snowdrop, and it's like that. That wasn't a show thing.
We have very short-term memories, clearly. No, I thought it was lovely, but there again, I think just about everything that Daniel Ingram composes is lovely. So, I don't know if that's a very good answer.
And then the one for Michelle. What was it like to almost get a song as Sweetie Belle in Watch Over Me?
Oh, wait. Which episode is that?
That's the one where she tries to take the cart by herself. And then Applejack has to come and save her from the Chimera.
Oh yeah, she kind of starts up. She's about to sing a song and she gets interrupted.
Oh, that, yeah. That I'm gonna make my sister see. Well, yeah, that's the. Oh man, thing about singing for Apple Bloom is that they've kind of changed their minds over the years of how good she was supposed to sing. And a long time ago, we were singing the anthem, We Are the Cutie Mark Crusaders, yeah. And at that point, there was obviously Scootaloo over here and Sweetie Belle over here, and Apple was kind of teetering in the middle. And so I'd be like, I wouldn't be pitchy, and they'd be like, no, make it more pitchy. And then I'd be too pitchy, and they'd be like, no, make it less pitchy. So it's kind of changed over the years. But that, they were just like, yeah, no, she's going to be a bad singer this time. I was like, okay. So I'm going to make my sister see. So, yeah.
Hi, what's been the most rewarding part about working on the show?
Getting to come to conventions. Again.
Meeting all of you guys at the
Yeah,
conventions.
for sure.
I think also, if I might, Michelle, because I know you've said this before, I think I've heard Andrea say this too, is some of the letters and communication or actually in-person discussions that we've had with some of the fans where we realize that the show has made a significant difference in people's lives has been probably the most meaningful thing in a lot of ways, because you just going into a show like that in animation, that is never the thing that's on your mind. Well, this show is going to make a difference in someone's life, a major difference. And a lot of people have told us that the show saved them in some way, and that's very powerful and meaningful, I think.
Yep. Hello. My question is, what is your most favorite song from the show or that you've done?
Oh, there's so many.
Yeah. Find the music in you. Definitely. Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah. Oh, there's so many.
Hearts and hoops day.
I don't know.
Bats?
Gabe just leaned
I
over
like
to
bats.
My favorite song for a really long time was At the Gala. I just thought it was so cool, like all the different all the different transitions. Good Lord, okay. You know what? Transitions. From all the different characters singing their different parts and how the music changes to fits the character personality. I just thought that was really cool. Daniel did a really good job with that song.
Gabe leaned over to me and goes, "The one I want to say hasn't come out yet."
I know, we're all like, okay, well, no. What was a year ago? What was more than a year ago?
Actually, I'm a huge fan of the Equestria Girls songs. I really like them a lot.
I can't remember my question. Okay.
If you want to just go a few people back in line
Yeah.
and think about it, then it's like just step back a couple if you want.
Do you see any part of your character in you?
Oh, that's a great question. No.
You like apples.
No, shush.
Oh, you do.
I like peaches better. Dreams crushed.
Traitors.
It's true. I've said this before that have you ever taken the pony personality test? Yeah, who has? Yeah.
Oh, it's like the Harry.
I always get Applejack.
Oh, I wouldn't guess that.
Because the questions are, do you like apples? Yes. Do you like dogs? Yes. Do you like Friends or whatever?
No.
Applejack.
Do you like
a main character?
Yes.
No, I've of course the little things from the characters. I think that's why the show is so relatable, is because you can find little pieces of all of their personalities in yourself. So yeah.
Do that.
Do that.
Violence.
You had a ponytail?
Yes.
Ponytail.
Oh, that's good.
It's like a L'Oreal commercial. I love it. It really is all the luscious hair.
Oh, thank you.
She just
I just got it cut too.
She just literally got 6 inches cut off
So
of
much
it
hair.
2 days ago. Yeah.
Are you kidding? Like when it's in a ponytail, it's just there's so much of it. Like there's so much hair. So much.
When she got it cut, and she walked up to me and she smashed it in my face and went, "I just got it cut." I couldn't see it.
And a question for Gabe and Michelle. This doesn't have to do with MLP, but why the quads and the noodle?
For those of you who haven't seen that video, you're going,
No, okay. Well,
because
we wanted to. Basically, our quads are really, really strong. The new one that Gabe just built, it's 2 horsepower. So yeah, can you imagine a quad just driving like a carriage? But basically, we just wanted to do something really random for a video for, I think it was to market this con, was it? Mm-hmm. And so we were like, what can we attach to our quad? Pool noodles.
Well, by quads she means quadcopters, and my brother bought me a quadcopter, a Phantom, DJI Phantom for Christmas, and I really liked it, and I was filming with it, and I wanted it to go faster, I wanted it to be more powerful, and I started looking at different things on the market, and what I wanted didn't exist, so I designed and built my own.
Well, yeah,
and
first we started buying a bunch of quads. That was our
yeah, we bought like 10 different
I want to put this into context. This guy has built his own Tesla coils. He's also came up to me at BronyCon, I think 2 years ago. He's like, "Hey, Draft, do you want to see an illegal blue laser?" I'm like, yes,
I didn't say illegal.
Duh. And he just takes it out and he's like, this could burn a hole in the wall if I waited.
I don't remember this.
You focus it right on the start burning.
I'd rather get past this without dying.
And actually, I should say, too, there's going to be another panel a little bit later. There's going to be a Q&A panel for these ones, for Gabe and Michelle and for Monique. So if you guys have questions for them and we don't get to it right now because we've got about 5 more minutes to go through, you can ask that.
Are you sure it's not for all of us?
I was told for those, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
We just
Well, you guys
I
are
do what I'm told.
You are welcome to join us if you
Yeah. All right, there you go.
For Michelle and Gabriel, I know you both like love to sing and act. Do you have any like dream roles with like a musical or a TV show or something?
Oh. Everything.
Can you pick one?
Anything. I want to be on a Marvel movie really
yeah,
badly, especially with the new Avengers movie. Yeah, wouldn't that be awesome? But yeah, maybe I could be the first singing superhero. I'm here to save the day.
Tap shoes. I'm gonna tap my way out of this danger situation.
Looks like a job for a singing man.
Kick him in the face.
What is the most important lesson you've learned within your voice acting or otherwise showbiz career?
Keep your mouth shut.
That is exactly the opposite of voice
For
acting.
yourself, Andrea Blabbermouth.
She's so sweet, and then she says things like that. And it shocks me every single time.
What I meant by that was more like honor your non-disclosure agreement.
I think remembering in the entertainment industry, and as is the case in other industries too, that even though there might be a lot of people involved, it is a relatively small community, and there are a lot of talented people in the world, and your attitude and your work ethic and how you treat other people is extremely important. And it doesn't matter how talented you are if you're no fun to work with, or you're not reliable, or you're not respectful to other people, it will come back to haunt you. And just being, just treating.
Are you threatening me?
So I think it's really important to. I'll talk to you later. Okay.
And I'm sitting between the two of them. I'm really nervous.
Really important to treat others as you would like to be treated, which is, a great policy in life in general. So.
I think we got time for about 3 more questions. Again, there's going to be a follow-up Q&A session. It's on your schedule. I think it's in panel room 2, and it starts, I want to say, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour after this. So there will be time there as well.
This is a question for all of you. What was the hardest or weirdest role you ever did?
I have to think about that one.
While they think on it, at a convention once, it was at MSP last year, and it was with him and her and Andrea, and we were doing that reading of that comic, and I had to voice Spike. I totally botched it. It's killing me.
It was a lot of pressure.
And it went well.
Yeah. You did good.
My version of Spike, Twilight, what are we doing? It's like...
Should have made him Russian. I had to voice a really, really old British man, and they kept saying older, older. And I think I got to the point where I was like
he's dead.
inches from death. Yeah, I was like, this has a kind of palimpsest. And they're like, perfect. I was like, this is going to destroy my voice.
Funny story, that ended up being Woodhouse in Archer. No.
I think mine was playing Marmee in Little Women, at least the production that I was in, where she when the daughter dies, and this is in the musical version, the mom has a song right after Beth. Beth is the daughter that dies, right? Yes. And it's an extremely emotional song, and it's hard to, like, so Marmee is sobbing while she's singing, and it's really hard to sort of get a good vocal performance while effectively conveying that much emotion at the same time. But it was a good challenge, and I actually loved doing the role, but it was hard to do that.
Yeah, I once had to perform the role of Annie a couple of times with like a 102-degree fever. I was really, really sick. Big theater in Vancouver, and I was outdoor theater too. And it was really hot that summer too, so I was just like beads of sweat. But I did, I don't know, 3 shows or something, and I was like 9. And so that was definitely
And there was no understudy.
There was no understudy.
She was Annie, and there was 1,000 tickets sold. And
yep, sold out theater outside, and I'm like, tomorrow I'm gonna die tomorrow.
Okay, I think we've got time for one last question, and then again, at 12:30, I just looked it up on my handy schedule. At 12:30 in panel room 2, there will be a Q&A session, and it'll be nothing but Q&A, so you can ask your questions there as well.
Okay. Hello again and stuff. So, Andrea, when this is all over, I have to give you a Discord hug because I'm cosplaying him today. So.
Oh, okay.
Yay. And this is a question for Kasumi and something special for her. So, since you talked about a little bit about Disney, and I think your sister was teasing about, oh, you don't sound like Jasmine.
No, I was bossing her around.
You were bossing her
I was
around.
the bossy one. Like
You
the
were the
youngest
bossy one?
Yeah, and being like,
No, that's not right. Like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah. So,
getting so upset.
if you ever have like the chance, would you ever put out singing as Jasmine part of your world, her part? Because you would make a really great Jasmine.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Would I ever do that just for the fandom releasing on YouTube?
Just
yeah,
fandom
absolutely.
Pretty much.
No, I love that song.
Yeah.
All Disney songs.
Yay.
Absolutely.
So you would, and even cosplay, because you have the hair for her. Hair and stuff. And the other part is special for you is when you sang as Princess Luna for the first time. So this is her part. Patience is never easy. I understand wanting more. I know how hard it is to wait, to spread your wings and soar. Woo!
Great. Beautiful job. Awesome. Thank you for that.
So yeah, I mean, I know the art of the dress and everything, but it was like, darn it, it's like I only know little by little, and I'm pretty good at the whining part, unfortunately. But I also have Black Griffin. I have a drawing for you. So yes, if I could.
Oh goodness, I will come get it.
Yes.
All right, well, we've run over, so thank you guys for showing up for this panel. Thanks to all the voice actors and actresses on this stage. If you have further questions, again, at 12:30 panel room 2, there's going to be a Q&A session. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Mike.